All right, I want to give you a little bit of an introduction to what I want you to do for kind of your project for this unit. And again, this periodic table that you're going to create, there's lots of different things on it, and not everything is something that we've talked about yet, but we will. And there are going to be things that we're going to add to it through the year. So right up front, you need to plan ahead. You need to make sure that you are thinking, are strategizing in order to make this useful. All right. Everything that's on there already, you have to look at, right? You have to be able to see after you're done. All the letters, all the names, all the numbers have to be easily seen and used because you're going to want this for the rest of the year, right? This is going to be our tool. This is going to be our best tool for the rest of the year. So again, periodic tables here. One of the things I'm going to have you do, and all this on the back, and I'll show you that, is I do want you to finish this. These are all done now. I can't find a good one to print off. This one was as of 1995, but as of last year, we know up to element 118. So fill all these out with their nice new names, right? And that's about the only writing I want you to do on this side. The rest of it, I just want you to color code, right? And so when we look at that, here's what we're looking at. That's not very nice. All right, so our periodic table key. So what these boxes are, whatever you put in these boxes, all right, is what I'm expecting to see on the front. Okay, so if I wanted to label group numbers in blue, over here I might put like the number 2, right? And so on the front, wherever you're going to put group numbers, I'm going to see the number, 12 and 13. All right, that's not right, but that's what I want to see, right? So I know a blue number indicates the group number, okay? And then maybe I see a black number, right, 3. Maybe that means the period number. So over here, I'm going to write 6 and 7. All right. And so that's how simple it is. But whatever you write on the back, you have to know what it represents. But so do I. And you want to know that through, the rest of this year. And so when you do this, be very obvious in these boxes, whatever goes there. I've had kids do this only in pencil, and it's been awesome. And I've had kids do this in multiple colors. It's been awesome. But I've also had the opposite. You got to take your time on this. I'm giving you plenty of time, right? This is your tool. Yes, I'm going to give you a grade for it, but you want this to be right. You want to work on this enough. And so prior planning, pre-planning, looking up lots of the stuff, and the things that we're doing this week are giving you lots of these answers. I just want one spot. There is no periodic table on the internet where you're going to find all of these in a one-stop shop. All right. And that's what this is going to be for us. All right. And then we're going to add more stuff. We're going to add more than just what's right here to it later. So valence electrons, like we don't know about those yet. We're going to get really in depth in those in the next unit, but we're going to be looking those up this time. So you know where to have those gases and liquids. So this is what I'm talking about. Color coded or patterns, like maybe gases. Maybe I'm looking for like black squiggly lines. And so when I see black squiggly lines, right, on here, 3 black squiggly lines, I know, all right, that's the element iron, right? Iron in its natural state is a gas, and gold in its natural state is a gas, right? And maybe a liquid is blue, and we just do, like waves, right, at the bottom. And so I come up here and, I find out that lanthanum is a liquid and zinc is a liquid, right, in their natural states. And so we can see that, okay? Whatever's here, I want to see on the back. Now, with minor or with some of these categories that there's not a lot of elements, that's good. Right? Some of the bigger categories, like some of these sub-levels, there's only 4 levels. Every element on the periodic table is in one sub-level or another, right? And so for those ones, there's lots of different things. But what I want you to understand is there's so many things we're writing. Every element is probably going to be colored with at least 2. Some may have to be up to 5 or 6 things that you're going to have to indicate. Okay. And so you got to be careful. So when you're researching some of the bigger ones, like it's okay to outline, these boxes. And that would say, all right, all my F's are going to be outlined in, green pen. And so I would find my F's and I'd be like, all right, either you could do each one individually like this. That's good. And you can do that all the time. That's easy to see. You can go back and forth as you're going through a test. Or you could do one like that's on the outside, right? That's indicating, all right, maybe I want to outline this whole group, right? To say, hey, me or Mr. Smith, I know that those are my F groups, right? Those are my F elements. And again, you don't know what that is. That's why we're going to do our research. Okay. So all of these, when you get to metals is a huge group, right? Metals is a huge group. So maybe we do a pattern, right? Maybe I put a blue slash from left to right, bottom to top to indicate metals. And so everywhere I find a metal, right, I'm seeing that. Okay, but again, when we get to stuff like this, you can see how filled out they get. Okay, and then I get an alkali metal, and I get an alkaline earth metal, right? And all these, they can all be done in the same color. I would suggest not. But patterns and colors are going to lead you to where you want to go. All right, you just got to be very careful. So maybe I want to put a heart right in the middle of my alkali metals. And so wherever I find an alkali metal, I'm like, all right, I have a heart. Great. There's an alkali metal. All right. You could do dots in certain corners. So other metals. I'm going to go find my other metals, and I know that, oh, there I got a dot. And there I got a dot. Right? Whatever you do, you want it to be super obvious for yourself. Okay? Because you're going to have to use this over and over and over again. Okay? So I'm giving you some examples. They can be any set of colors or patterns. What I would caution you on, and this is what I get a lot, is just filling in the whole thing like that. Because if I see that, I'm going to expect to see that on the other side, and so are you. But all of a sudden, if you do that on a bunch of these, it's hard to see, and it's really hard to add other colors. Okay, it's hard to see and it's hard to add other colors. So basically, in all these boxes, right, all these boxes that you see, I should see a different pattern or different color. All of them will end up on the front. So when I look at this, I want to easily see where you put that on there. Okay, so plan ahead. And the other thing is, and you can do this as we go, but then you can also give yourself some notes, because we're going to be taking notes on all of these guys, and maybe you do that after you do this. Okay, but having some chemical and physical characteristics here that we can refer back to as the year goes on would be a really good idea. All right, so there is your overview of making a very good periodic table map. And again, leave room around it, because we're going to be adding to this different things throughout the year. All right, good luck.